What is going on, everyone? The Phillies win this ball game 9-6, and I know that this team has been frustrating for so long, but this was fun because Bryce Harper did some damage today. And before we dive into this, do not forget about my promo code with SeatGeek. Use the promo code BRODES, and you will receive $20 off your total purchase. But let's talk about Bryce Harper today. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. This guy was a dog today. He was a difference maker. The first game in a Phillies uniform where he had 2 home runs. It was fantastic. These balls were murdered. They were murdered into the bay, crushed. One of the balls is still going. I mean, it was insanity, and I loved everything about it, especially because you have fans going with the standard overrated chants towards Bryce Harper, and he demolishes the baseball tonight. You could see his confidence. You could see his swag up at the plate today and his approach. It was beautiful. Literally beautiful. And he did it out of the leadoff spot today. And Gabe Kapler decided to switch everything up. There are fans that are so disgusted with that. And I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I hate Gabe Kapler, and I do know that he tries all kinds of crazy things with the lineup, this team isn't clicking, all right? This team isn't doing what they should be doing. And when that happens, I'm totally okay with picking random names out of a hat and seeing where players land for a batting order. So I'm okay with what we did today with Bryce leading off, Reese batting second, Corey Dickerson batting third, who had a fantastic day at the plate, which we will get into. Segura in the 4th spot. JT Realmuto batting 5th. Cesar, Scotty, Adam Haseley back in the lineup because Jay Bruce goes right back to the IL. As soon as he gets called up, he goes right back to the IL. Not as soon as he got called up. As soon as he got back from injury. And then Smyly, who hit last and was on the bump today. But let's talk about Corey Dickerson, because with bases loaded, when we were down 1-0 in the 3rd, my man came up big, and this team has struggled so much when it came to getting a hit when we had bases loaded. I couldn't watch. I did one of these where I didn't want to look. And he ends up hitting a triple, bases clearing triple. We're up 3-1, and then Gene Segura gets an RBI fly out, a sac fly, and we're up 4-1. The Giants kind of creep their way back into this. It's 4-3. Corey Dickerson had an error out there in left field. He really did not properly attack a line drive. He tried to scoop at it. It went to the wall. Things got a little ugly there. And it's 4-3. Bryce Harper hits one of his homers. It was a solo shot. He knew it right away. This is when he gave the shh celebration. 5-3. We lose the lead, though, in the 6th. Gene Segura with an error. His 4th of the road trip so far. Error at shortstop. They hit a 2-run bomb to tie the game up. Of course, that's how it always works, right? You make a mistake, the other team cashes in on it. That's just how it works. It was 5-5, and then they ended up knocking on another run at 6-5. We lost the lead, and that's when Bryce Harper came up so big with that 3-run bomb that was murdered. It was insane. JT tacked on an RBI as well with a sac fly, so that's how we had the 9-6 lead. But Bryce Harper stepped up big time, and so did Corey Dickerson. I know he had the error out there in left field, but he had 3 total hits today, and he ended up actually getting a triple when we had bases juiced, and that somewhat set the tone, and that helped us take a lead, and that was a huge momentum shift. But the headlines is obviously going to be Bryce Harper, and now he's at 22 home runs. So we're hoping and praying that this is something that can get Bryce Harper going. We haven't really seen Bryce Harper get really hot. We've seen him go through a spurt of good baseball, a minor spurt of, not, I wouldn't say hot, but really warm baseball. We haven't seen a tear, a long tear. And with this team, do you know how many times I've stated, well, I hope this gets the boys going, or I hope this gets the team going? I've said it too many times, so I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket. But I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray tonight before I fall asleep that this gets Bryce Harper going on one of those elite tears. He has 3 homers in the last few games here, so you can see some confidence coming with his stroke. You can see his approach at the plate is nice. You can see he's really seeing the baseball well coming out of the pitcher's hands. So that's definitely a good start. And speaking of pitching, Drew Smyly on the mound. Wasn't a good day at the office for Drew Smyly as he went 5 2/3, allowed 7 hits. He walked 3. He allowed 4 earned runs. So not the strongest performance out of Drew Smyly. We had to realize that this was going to come at some point because what he did in his first 2 outings, it just didn't make sense based off of where he was statistically in his career. You knew there was going to be a drop-off. Well, you're starting to see that as he struggled today, and the Giants got a hold of him at times, without a doubt. But the bullpen did their job. The bullpen did their job. Hector Neris came in the 9th, did his damage. Ranger Suarez came in the 8th and did his job. Morin came in as well. Who else was in there? Alvarez came in to help Smyly. Tomorrow we have Vinny V on the mound. And when you look at this wild card right now, there's way too many teams involved. It's so hard to watch. You got the Mets winning in this walk-off fashion and coming back late against the Nationals. And the Nationals are also involved, so that's a tough series to watch because both teams you don't want to see win. Milwaukee, St. Louis, it's a mess. It's a mess right now. There are so many teams. Arizona's still hanging on. The Giants are still hanging in there. It's absurd if you actually took a look at that wild card and see how many teams are still fighting and still have hope. But listen, the Phillies are one of them. The Phillies are one of them. What I love out of this game, there's just something different. There's a different feeling. There's a different vibe when Bryce Harper steps up big time. We saw the walk-off against the Dodgers, and I was so excited about that victory because Bryce Harper was the one to do it. Bryce Harper was the one to step up. He was being the leader that night, and that was exciting as hell. No matter what else happened surrounding that baseball game when he had the walk-off, I felt great about it. Well, this is a game that I feel the same way. Does this change the big picture? No, it doesn't. I still know that this baseball team is going to struggle and come out tomorrow and have 4 hits and score 1 run. Like, I'm expecting that because I know what this baseball team is. But as for this game, I got to appreciate it. I need to sit here as a fan and I need to sit here as someone who just embraced Bryce Harper hitting those 2 home runs and having this big energy rise from this baseball game and see the... just see this game in particular and see Bryce Harper step up. I got to embrace it for this moment. Those balls were crushed. And the cockiness after he hits it when he knows and he just puts the bat down. And then he finally gets to home plate in his celebration and the raw passion and the excitement and how fired up he is celebrating with his teammates there at home plate and doing his celebrations. It was so sick. It was so sick, especially after everyone goes for the overrated chants. Perfect timing, perfect execution. One thing about this ballgame, the umpire was so bad. In the 9th, we had a chance to load the bases up, but he rung up Cesar Hernandez on a clear ball. I mean, he would have walked and it would have been bases loaded. A clear ball. But in the 9th, when Hector Neris was pitching, the first out of the bottom of the 9th was a clear ball, and he was ringing them all up back there. He clearly just wanted to get the hell home. He was tired or something. I don't know if he had something to watch that he DVR'd, a Bachelorette. I don't know. I'm not judging. I watch it too. What? Who said that? Tonight was a fun ball game. I thought that there were chances for the Giants to come back into the game, and knowing how this Phillies team is, they normally allow the Giants to come back and win these type of games, but they did enough. They found a way. Listen, they allowed 6 runs in this ball game and won? Huh? I mean, really? I feel like that just doesn't happen with this club. They can't find ways to score. Well, they had 11 hits today. And I know as much as Bryce Harper stole the show, you got to tip your cap to Corey Dickerson because he had bases juice there and really made it happen in the 3rd inning, and we just haven't been doing that. Also, his 3 hits total. So I'm not trying to say Bryce Harper wasn't the top dog, because he was. But Corey Dickerson deserves a little how do you do hat tip as well. So I want to know your thoughts down below on both of those home runs by Bryce, on Drew Smyly, and what we're going to get out of him moving forward, because I'll be honest, I'm not really feeling it, okay? He's in the mix with the rest of the guys, which isn't really going to be enough at the end of the day. I want to hear your thoughts on Corey Dickerson, Gene Segura. I mentioned his error he had in the 6th, which costed us big time to end the game there in the 9th. This play he made was unreal. He dove, and the ball was already past him. He gets up, sets his feet to get the last out of the ball game. That was a special play defensively, and I like that. I like the fact that he takes pride in plays like that. It's a 9-6 ball game with 2 outs in the 9th. Some guys might let that go, and I know Gene Segura isn't known for his hustle or things like that. Like, there's times where he takes plays off, and clearly we've seen that, but he made an error in the 6th. It clearly bothered him, and he's giving you full effort there in the 9th, and that's something that I appreciate. So, and the play was beautiful. The play was beautiful to end the game. So let me hear your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I will see you next time.